This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Monday, May the 11th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today afternoon news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that Prime Minister Stuart has been asked to step in and save the waste hauling and moving sector, as small operators have already started to shut down while the larger ones are in jeopardy. This latest development is being blamed on the small companies' inability to pay the new upfront government tipping fee of $25 per ton plus VAT before they could dump their waste at the Barbados Sustainable Recycling Centre at Vauxhall in St. Thomas. The revelation came this morning from interim chairman of the Waste Haulers Group, Anderson Cherry, as members were joined by the waste movers in another public protest to highlight their dire position. And he is speaking as the operators parked their trucks just off the Darcy Scott roundabout in Warrens, and that's near the Ministry of the Environment, to highlight their dire position. Cherry said some of the bigger haulers had already paid out more than $50,000 in tipping fees within the first week. He said with less than half dozen smaller independent movers and haulers having already collapsed, the bigger ones may not be able to continue shelling out money up front after this week and would therefore have to cease business. He said the group has now been forced to write Prime Minister Stuart asking him to intervene and scrap the fee. Cherry also disclosed that this morning's action will impact adversely on the hotel industry.
Tourism is our business, and we're all here today because we want to play our part. And we cannot move any garbage from the hotel industries today because we can't afford it. And we need government help today. Not tomorrow, not next 2 months, not next 3 months. We need it today. We need a stop. And one of the solutions is a stop to this fee. Then come back. Let us see how best we could address it. But we need an urgent stop to this fee today, not tomorrow. Today can't work for us. We have people here who've got families that need feeding today.
Trevor Manning, who represents one of the larger haulers, said he might not be able to continue paying the tipping fee after this week.
Yeah, I think it's very unfair. First, certainly that we have to prepay this staff up front, and it's a burden that most of us aren't, I've done it for a week now, and we're in the 10 and 20,000 range now, and we can't support this for a whole month to prepay this tax. It's a big burden on us, and it'll sink quite a few of us, and really here to support as well the small man who's probably worse off as well.
Just over a week ago, the group decided to pay the fee after meeting with Minister of the Environment, Dr. Dennis Law, and being assured he would review the levy within 90 days. The Stuart administration will soon have before it a petition with more than 19,000 signatures calling for an end to cervical cancer. Head of the Barbados-based Healthy Caribbean Coalition, Professor Sir Trevor Hassel, says the petition will also be presented to other CARICOM heads of government and health ministers. Sir Trevor told the opening of a 3-day Caribbean Cancer Control Leadership Forum this morning at Courtyard at Marriott Hastings Christchurch that the petition entitled End Cervical Cancer Now is aimed at raising an awareness of the female cancer and encouraging policymakers of the region to take greater action in support of cervical cancer prevention and control. He said the action was the first in the coalition's fight against the disease. At least one supermarket is holding its own in these difficult economic times as it finds new ways to assist its loyal customers. Director of Carlton and A1 Supermarket, Tomlinson Bino, said these were not the easiest times in which to work, but they were holding on.
Through the strong support of our loyal customer base, and also the fact that we've been out there working very hard to find new ways of bringing customers in, so our advertising message has also changed a bit. In addition to that, in our stores, we pride ourselves on quality selection, but also we're very strong on the service offering that we put out there to our customer base, and our customers have appreciated it. We've been very grateful for the support that we've able to garner, not only in this period, but also in the period prior to where things were very tough.
By now, we're speaking at the launch of Beat Your Budget, a quarter summer competition put on by A1 Supermarkets, RMJ Agencies 2015, and Simpson Motors. The grand prize winner will walk away with a brand new Swift Desire.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Farley Hill, Crane Beach, fried chicken at Pug's Bar. All parts of Barbadian life that some might know, but others don't. So join me, Katrina Marshall, as I go about town and across country, peeking into tucked-away districts and liming with the people who bring them to life. About town and across country, coming soon to Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now that Caribbean leaders are lauding France's announcement to cancel Haiti's debt. French President François Hollande told the summit that included Prime Minister Stuart in Pointe-à-Pitre, Guadeloupe, yesterday of the government's intention to write off the debts of the French-speaking Caribbean country. In an interview with Barbados Today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez described Hollande's disclosure as simply extraordinary.
And he spoke about the necessity and desirability for appropriate recompense, and indeed announced that France would provide the resources which Haiti had to pay over the years to the slave owners. No, that is extraordinary.
His Dominican counterpart, Roosevelt Skerritt, concurs. He tells Barbados Today the announcement, which came during the official opening of the Memorial ACTE, is an important step for all people who were or are affected by slavery and the slave trade.
This is important. This is important because, as you know, Haiti was required to pay to France huge sums in compensation. And I believe President Hollande recognizes that that was a historical mistake, and he has an opportunity now to correct that wrong.
We turn now to general elections in Guyana. There's been a steady flow of Guyanese casting their ballots at polling stations across the country this morning. Up to the time of this newscast, the voting process was said to be smooth, with only one report of a hiccup at a Georgetown station where casting of ballots was temporarily halted. It was due to a defective stamp for ballot papers, which had to be hurriedly replaced. Voters had complained that the stamp on their papers was not registering all the numbers required for its authenticity, and became more dissatisfied when the polling officer wrote in the missing number. Some claimed the handwritten number was not the correct digit. Chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Dr. Steve Sarouj-Bali, rushed across that polling station at Central High School and assured voters the stamp would be replaced and all votes already placed would be counted. There are 8 political parties registered for today's vote, but it is seen as a straight contest between the incumbent People's Progressive Party Civic, led by Donald Ramatar, and the Coalition, a partnership for national unity, Alliance for Change, headed by opposition leader David Granger. Guyana's elections are usually contentious, and for this reason, several international observer missions are in the country monitoring the polls, among them a CARICOM team, a Commonwealth group, the Organization of American States, and the US-based Carter Center. The Carter Center team was led by former U.S. President Jimmy Carter, but the 90-year-old left the country prematurely Saturday after feeling unwell. And on the global scene, EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini has pleaded for UN help to dismantle criminal groups smuggling migrants into the European Union. She told a Security Council briefing on EU plans to use force against smugglers that the EU needs to count on the region's support to save lives.
We are aware of the fact that there is not one magic solution, but a comprehensive response to a complex problem. It is not only a humanitarian emergency, but also a security crisis, since smuggling networks are linked to, and in some cases finance, terrorist activities, which contributes to instability in a region that is already unstable enough. Addressing this situation is, first of all, a moral duty for us, but it is also a shared interest of all countries involved, the ones around the Mediterranean, as well as countries of origin and transit. We are here to act immediately and to act together. We need an exceptional response.
Libya, where many smugglers operate, has objected to the EU proposals. And on that note, we end our Barbados Today afternoon news update. However, you can join us again this evening. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.